So, hello guys, welcome to another video of our discussion. Okay, so for this video, we're going to discuss or we're going to talk about Rizal's national consciousness. So, by the way, this is the lesson 3. So, before that, let's have just a short recapitulation of what we have discussed last time. So, in the first lesson, we've talked about the RA 1425 or the Rizal law, and then also we have the theory of nationalism, as well as, of course, the last one, the 19th century Philippines. And of course, in the lesson 2, we have discussed the Rizal's cultural roots, wherein we talk about, or I have uploaded a video and I talk about the ascendance of the Chinese mestizos and the family, the childhood, and the early education of Rizal. And of course, I also discussed the history of the friar lands. And for this lesson, we're going to talk about Rizal's national consciousness. So this is the time when Rizal namulat na siya sa katotohanang bumabalot sa bansang Pilipinas. So basically, ito yung part na nagkakaroon na ng kamalayan or nabubuksan na ang kamalayan ni Rizal tungkol sa bansang Pilipinas. Okay? So, in this module, we're going to talk about the significant events in Rizal's life that shaped his nationalist sensibilities. So, his notable experiences abroad eventually became the catalyst for him to finally draft and finish his first novel. So, in the first section, yan, Higher Education of Rizal, it presents the scholastic achievements and ordeals of Rizal that made him more dedicated to his studies. In the second section naman, it talks about Rizal's life abroad. Okay, so the various accomplishments of Rizal abroad and its impact on his nationalistic ideas. So in the third section, the propaganda movement in the La Solidaridad, which provides the various nationalist movements Rizal initiated as influenced by his education, personal observations, and experiences abroad. So in the fourth, in the last section, In the Eyes of Noli Me Tangere, which reflects the conditions and problems of the Philippine society in the 19th century. Okay, so in the first section, so the higher education of Rizal, it provides an overview of Rizal's academic life. So it begins with his studies in the Philippines at the Athenaeum Municipal de Manila and the University of Santo Tomas, so to his schooling up to his schooling abroad. So it also highlights his observations, experiences, and accomplishments that became the foundation of his nationalist sensibilities. So, yan, college life ni Rizal. Okay, let's start. So, the execution of the three martyr priests, Mariano Gomez, Jacinto Zamora, and Jose Burgos, or also known as Gumburza, on February 17, 1872, left Pasiano, Jose's brother, deeply moved and angered by the brutality of the Spanish colonial government. He expressed his frustrations to the younger Jose, making him, even at very young age, aware of the atrocities of the Spanish colonizers. Sobrang bigat at laki ng hinanakit ni Pasiano sa mga Kastila or Espanyol nung araw nung binitay ang tatlong paring martir. Kaya naman, minulat niya ang kamalayan ni Rizal tungkol sa mga bagay na ito. Kaya nga, 'di ba, yung influence ni Pasiano ay love for freedom and justice. So, yun, gusto ni Pasiano na dalahin ni Rizal yung pagmamahal sa hustisya at kalayaan sa kanyang pag-aaral sa kolehiyo. At gusto niya matutunan yun. So, the execution of Gumburza steered the nationalist sensibilities in Rizal, and he even dedicated his second novel, El Filibusterismo, to the three priests, and this also opened Rizal's eyes to the true conditions of the Philippine society under the Spaniards. So originally, Francisco Mercado wanted Jose to study at Colegio de San Juan de Letran, but Pasiano convinced him to let Jose study instead of Ateneo Municipal de Manila with the help of Manuel Ceres Burgos, the nephew of the priest Jose Burgos. So Rizal was admitted to Ateneo despite of objections from school administrators. So before, yung Colegio de San Juan de Letran at saka yung Ateneo Municipal de Manila, existing sila hanggang ngayon. So, ang first choice ni Rizal is Colegio de San Juan de Letran. Ateneo Municipal de Manila is Ateneo, yung Ateneo ngayon, Ateneo de Manila. Yan. So, yung first choice ni Rizal nung college ay Colegio de San Juan de Letran. So, nakapag-entrance exam na siya before. And of course, itong Colegio de San Juan de Letran, ito din yung mahigpit na katunggali ng Ateneo. So, tutol si Pasiano, kaya naman kinonvince niya ang kanyang ama na sana ay kung pwede sa Ateneo na lang pumasok si Rizal. Pero, yan, despite objections from school administrators, dahil yun nga, may mga reasons na somehow hindi tanggapin si Rizal sa Ateneo. Okay? So, ang reason kasi, una nga, first choice niya, ang Colegio de San Juan de Letran at nakapag-entrance exam na siya. Tapos biglang nagbagong isip, lilipat ng UST. So, yun, muntik na siyang hindi makapasok dahil for some reasons. Okay? Una, si Padre Margin Ferrardo, yung registrar sa UST, yung reason ay dahil late siya na nakapag-enroll. Okay, so huli na siya. Pangalawa ay sakitin daw si Rizal at maliit ang kanyang pangangatawan para sa kanyang edad. Pero dahil nga ni Manuel Ceres Burgos, pamangkin ni Jose Burgos, backer ni Rizal sa UST, nakapasok siya. Tinanggap siya despite of some objections. So yon. Ang ginamit ni Rizal na apelido dito sa UST ay yung Rizal. So, yun yung ginamit niya dahil during that time, pinagsususpechahan na ng mga Kastila ang pamilya Mercado. Kaya, ang pinagamit sa kanya ni Pasiano ay Rizal at huwag Mercado. Yan. So, yan. In the first two terms at Ateneo, classes were divided into groups of interns and externs. So the interns constituted the Roman Empire, while the externs constituted the Carthaginian Empire. So in each group, there were 5 dignitaries. So the standard bearer, centurion, decurion, the tribune, and the emperor, who was considered to be the best student in class. So Rizal, grouped in Carthaginian Empire, was ranked at the bottom of the class at the start of the term. And he kept on getting promoted so that by the end of his first month, he had already attained the rank of emperor. So, yung intern at extern, so ang pinagkaiba nila, yung interns, sila yung mga students na naninirahan sa loob ng Ateneo or within the vicinity ng Ateneo. And then yung externs naman, sila naman yung mga nasa labas. Sila yung mga nakatira sa labas. So, may 5 groups yon each. So, yung 5 groups, yun nga, pag sinabing Imperyong Romano, internos, o mag-aaral na nakatira sa loob ng Ateneo, so sila ay mga may hawak ng pulang bandila. Yun ang mga Cartago, katawagan sa mga externos o mga estudyante na nakatira sa labas, sila naman yung may hawak ng blue na bandila. Okay? Yun, standard bearer kapag hawak ng bandila. Alright. And then, during that time then, first year ni Rizal, so parang usual na first year college, nagbo-board lang din siya. So, ang kanyang landlady ay si Titay. Yan, si Titay ay may utang sa pamilya Rizal na 300 pesos. So, bilang kabayaran, ay sa kanya muna tumira si Rizal. Sa kanya muna siya nag-board. Yan. So during those years then, first year college, academic year 1872 to 1873, ayan, si Rizal ay nagsimula sa externo, pero after ilang weeks, siya ay naging emperor. And ang kanyang favorite, our first professor during that time was Padre Jose Beach. Or Padre Jose Bech. And then yun nga, during his vacant times, nag-aaral siya ng Espanyol or wikang Kastila sa Colegio Santa Isabel at nagbabayad siya ng 3 piso. Yan. So Rizal continuously exemplified scholastic excellence such that he was the pride of the Jesuits as he received the highest grades in almost all his classes. So on March 23, 1877, he obtained the degree Bachelor of Arts and was awarded Sobresaliente or Outstanding. So during his stay in Ateneo, he wrote poems and crafted sculptures, and one of these sculptures was Sagrado Corazon de Jesus or the Sacred Heart of Jesus upon the request of his teacher. But yun nga, So, like the typical freshman, yun nga, bida-bida, yan. So, top 1 sa klase. Tapos, kagaya parang tayo, pag nag-aaral tayo dito sa Batangas City, umuwi tayo pag bakasyon pag walang pasok sa ating mga tunay na bahay. So, ganoon din si Rizal, during summer vacation or pag walang pasok, umuwi siya ng Kalamba. Okay? So, ang pasyalan nila madalas ay ang Tanawan sa Batangas kasama si Saturnina para mawala yung stress dahil sa pag-aaral sa Maynila. Tapos, second year, yon nanatili siyang emperor, academic year 1873 to 1874. And of course, he also still received high grades and gold medal sa lahat ng subject. Yan. Tapos, yun nga, third year naman, yan, sabi nga nila, pinaka-toxic at unhealthy part of the college life ay ang third year. Sa college life naman, yon parang medyo bumagsak ang performance ni Rizal. Isa lang ang na-receive niyang medal, sa Latin subject pa. Pero bumawi siya ng fourth year niya, 1875 to 1876. June 16, 1875, yan, nag-start na siya ng kanyang OJT. Yan, si Padre Francisco Sanchez, ang kanyang favorite professor that time, wherein during those years, he received 5 medals, and of course, top 1 sa lahat ng subject. And then after that, yung kanyang last year na, 1876 to 1877, yan, pinagmamalaki siya ng mga Heswita dahil siya ang pinakamahusay sa lahat. And then yun nga, March 23, 1877 ay nagtapos at nakuha ang degree at ang kursong Bachelor of Arts. Yan. With highest honor or sobresaliente or outstanding. So, yun, during those times din, nagsimula na siya or parang dun siya nag-start magsulat ng iba't ibang mga tula. Yan. After finishing his studies at Athenaeum, Rizal pursued further studies. So this was strongly opposed by his mother for she believed that gaining more knowledge would endanger his life. So however, with the support of his father and brother, Rizal went to attend University of Santo Tomas or UST to study philosophy. So after a year, he shifted to study medicine where he was allowed to take up preparatory medical courses and regular first year medical course at the same time. So nung una pangalawang degree na ni Rizal. Nung una sa Ateneo, Bachelor of Arts, ito naman ay ang una niyang course ay philosophy pero nag-shift siya sa pre-med. Dito na nag-start siyang kumuha ng preparatory medical. So, yun nga, tinutulan ng kanyang nanay ni Doña Loleng Sidora na mag-aral dahil natatakot siya or nangangamba na baka sa sobrang dami ng nalalaman ni Rizal, ito yung mag-ugat sa kanya ng hindi magandang bagay. So, yan. So, sabi dito, Rizal's academic life in UST was full of controversies and hardships compared to his time in Ateneo. So, it was reported on various occasions that Rizal had unhappy days at UST for 3 reasons. Una, is that Dominican professor were hostile to him. And another reason was the fact that Filipinos were vulnerable to racial discrimination. And lastly, the method of instruction was repressive and dated. So, meron ding instance na before si Rizal, hindi lang yun, sabi, chismis, yan. One time daw, naglalakad sa dilim si Rizal, pauwi na ng bahay galing ng school, ay may nakasalubong siyang isang lalaki na dahil nga madilim, hindi niya na napansin. So, hanggang sa hindi niya na lang namalayan, bigla na lang siyang hinampas sa likod ng espada at nasugatan siya. So, hindi niya alam yung pala isa yung Guardia Civil at parang nabastusan yung Guardia Civil sa inasal ni Rizal kasi nga hindi man lang daw ito bumati ng good evening or sumaludo man lang. Yun nga, kasi nga madilim, hindi nakilala ni Rizal. So, isa yun sa mga nakakalungkot na nangyari kay Rizal. Tapos, during that time din, sumulat siya kay Blumentritt na siya ay pumunta sa opisina ng Guardia Civil upang ireklamo yung nangyari. Tapos, ayon sa sulat niya kay Blumentritt, wala daw naging aksyon ang opisina sa kanyang reklamo. And aside from that reason kung bakit unhappy ang kanyang college life sa UST is that during that time kasi when Rizal got his first heartbreak. Okay? So before siya mag-enter ng UST ay before siya mag-enter ng UST ay nagkaroon siya ng girlfriend na si si Segunda Katigbak ng Lipa, Batangas, and during that time ay hindi sila nagkatuluyan dahil nagkaroon ng arranged marriage si Segunda Katigbak sa ibang lalaki, kay Manuel Luz. So nasaktan si Rizal that time. So maybe isa yun sa mga dahilan kung bakit unhappy days ang college life ni Rizal sa UST. Yan. Jose Rizal, yan, finished his fourth year in UST and left the Philippines bounded for Spain, where he continued his study of medicine at the Universidad Central de Madrid, wherein he obtained multiple degrees in philosophy, letters, and medicine in 1884. So Rizal's sudden decision to leave the Philippines was compounded with speculations according to some accounts. So Rizal left the country as part of a secret mission co-orchestrated by his brother to observe the life and initiate a campaign for reforms in the Philippines. So yun, nakuha na ni Rizal ang kanyang second degree, yun nga, yung medicine at saka philosophy sa UST, and then nagdesisyon na mag-aaral kuno sa ibang bansa, pero ang totoong mission ayun nga, gusto ni Pasiano na mag-observe si Rizal sa ibang bansa, specifically nga sa Madrid, okay, para malaman kung anong sistema meron doon. Kumbaga parang gusto ni Pasiano na maging mata niya si Rizal sa Spain. Okay?